But then Hook had a match with Arnold Finster. I'm not sure, that may have been his name. It's as good as any. And Hook beat him, boom, and called out Jericho. And is the Jericho, what is that? The music now, is that just some homemade shit or something? Has he gone completely the opposite way from Judas? Now here's a song that no one has ever heard or would want to hear? Is this, is it indicative of something?
It's indicative of him not being over. Here's another problem. Here comes Jericho, Big Bill, who in a week has changed his personality completely.
Yeah.
Jericho's acting the same way the Bucks are.
Yeah.
The disingenuous waving and trying to be a man of the people. And it's not working at all.
I wrote smiling and waving and phony.
Chris Jericho convinces himself, and then usually finds someone who's susceptible to bad ideas like a Tony Khan, let's say, and convinces them that he's ahead of the curve. He has found a way to take what's happening and turn it into something that would be advantageous for him and the company, not realizing what reality is, which is everyone is sick of you. Get off the TV. Your matches are bad. Your promos are bad. You haven't done a good creative thing in a long time. You need to go home. Now you've ruined Big Bill. And I think you heard it again here from the fans once again.
Well, yeah, because I had just written, I'll just read my notes. Why doesn't someone tell him this sucks? It's not funny when he does it for real. That's being a fucking disingenuous snake. Much less for fake. And then that's when the please retire chants broke out and threw him off. And you could tell it got under his skin, because not only did it throw him off, and he responded with an aside to the people, but then he stammered and didn't get back in control there for a second. He was all over the place.
His aside was, yeah, one day I'll be in every wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
that's an interesting comeback to please retire from the fans. All right, Mr. Heel.
And, you know, both of those things can be true. If Mickey Mantle had lived to play baseball until he was 86, you think that maybe somebody would have said, please, Mickey, please. Please, Mickey, you're so old, you need to fold. Hey, Mickey. Anyway.
One line in, I'm like, what's he going to rhyme old with? And
yeah, well. Still got it, kid. So I wrote, this is dying. And then Jericho, the big bottom line of this whole thing is he tells Hook if he wins a qualifier on Collision, then he'll get a shot at the FTW title. And then Hook had a microphone in his hand and hit Jericho a weak, awkward shot with the microphone, and Jericho sells kind of staggery, and I was like, why I didn't know for a second. I was like, why the fuck I thought it was Hook's fault. But then when you see, well, Big Bill then jumps Hook for hitting Jericho, and the heels beat up Hook like they do every segment. They beat up the babyface. And then Shapoopy himself hit the ring, and the heels bailed out. And then you see that Jericho has done the old deal where he got him his movie blood, his entertainment blood, and he's palmed it in his hand, and he's got it on the back of his head like that Hook busted him open with the microphone, the back of his head. So, because the hair covers up, if he's got some and he's got it on his hand, he's got it in his hair, you can't tell, right? The problem is the angle that Hook had to hit him from where he was with the microphone to get him in the back of the head where he was going to do the deal was so goddamn ridiculous. It looked like Hook was a special fucking Olympics goddamn competitor. And the whole thing looked awkward. And then and then Jericho won't put his fucking bloody hand down. He did everything but fucking palm the lens of the camera to make sure that everybody saw that he had the blood in his hand. We need some quality control, Brian, don't we? What'd you think of all of that?
It was just atrocious. And again, Hook, they're going to blow it with Hook and waste Hook. Having him with all this nonsense, they've killed Big Bill. He was a lot better off with Ricky Starks than he is with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has been ratings poison the last several weeks. We'll see how this week plays out. Not as strong a competition. They didn't have the Knicks up against them. But Chris Jericho can't call himself the demo god anymore, if you notice. He's a tree now. He's no longer a god. He went from being a god to a tree. And that says a lot about his place. He's just there in the middle of this show like a big fucking tree. And you can't get around him. It's the biggest tree you've ever seen. And the leaves are fucking all over the place. And that's part of the problem. So yeah, no, this is really bad. And get used to this reaction for Jericho. And you guys could try to lean in. It's not one of those lean-inable situations. There's a growing audience sick of Chris Jericho who recognizes that his ideas are bad. And it's just going to continue to grow. But this is a bad segment, and...
This is like a Helix mattress designed for growing bodies.
Shibata comes out there with his music. Stop, that got stuck in my head the other day because of you. And my kids didn't know what I was doing, and I can't explain that. Why am I saying shapoopy? You may be wondering. Shibata comes out there. His music is not like the kind of music you can run out to. It's like a very gentle sounding star.
Yeah, it was almost like a goddamn fucking graduation ceremony or some shit.
I thought they were going to commercial. Like, oh, this is a soothing way to go to commercial. Yeah. All of a sudden he walks out there. No one cares. No one cares about Shibata in AEW. And he's not even doing a run-in. He's doing a walk-in. They should really lean into the idea that his brain was like out and back in. Just have him do wacky things like he's, just all of a sudden walks into the ring post or something for no reason.
All right. They got enough people on the show doing that accidentally without having him do it on purpose.
I thought that when he came in for the run-in and he walked, I'm like, it would be so funny if he didn't get in the ring, if he just walked right into the ring post and fell down. But yeah, no, this is awful. No one wants a Chris Jericho, Big Bill versus Hook and Shibata feud. And that's what we got.
And again, Hook is because of the situation he's in where he can't work regularly and he's had too much of a spotlight on him from the start, but he's not ready to be a pushed singles commodity at this point. And partly because of some of the things they've had him do potentially or whatever, but he's got some weak spots. We've talked about some of his strikes. He's got a unique style. He's got an appeal and a charisma, and the throws and the suplexes, and just that he's young he still needs to be more serious than eating his fucking Doritos when the shit's about to be on, right? We need to see a second gear in that personality where he's got a fucking temper and shows it. But also, can you imagine if instead of sticking Danielson, and it's just out of the cavern of my ass that we've been talking about this. Instead of sticking Danielson in the BBC with all the fucking the plumbers and the fucking all the bullshit about how tough they are, and the guy that left the company and was the only one from Blackpool, what if a year and a half ago Danielson had said, the guy that reminds me the most on this roster of me is Hook. He's a smaller guy. He had a technical style, but a tremendous work ethic and an ability to bridge different fighting styles. He could start building up. I'm going to take him under my wing and do it for real. Do it for fucking real. And for 18 months, not only is Danielson helping train Hook at the TV tapings, wherever they've got a ring, but he's either at a tag team with him. Most of the time when they wrestle, it's together, on the job, in the ring training, or in interviews or whatever, they're together. That's your story for a year and a half. And they have some probably great matches because it's Danielson if you put them with the right kind of people. And then you do Bruno and Zbyszko. And you have Hook versus Danielson on the way out on Danielson's last 6 months in the wrestling business. And he passes the crown of, great technical wrestler to goddamn Hook. Would that have been worth anything?
I think that would be worth a lot. I think it would benefit Hook a lot more than all this has so far in the end. And the best thing for me, as someone who was a big fan of Danielson, who's kind of sick of him right now, and there's a lot of things in his matches I don't like anymore, I would love to see someone else book him, not him just do the things he wants to do, and not him letting the people whose ideas he's been going with give him ideas.
I concur.
That's the one thing he hasn't had. He hasn't had really good booking. Other than like his first big time where he broke out and finally got over and they gave into it, the booking in WWE, there are always questionable things, and booking in AEW has been atrocious.
And, you know, I guess now we can look back in hindsight. Remember when he was our favorite guy on the roster? He was a single heel. He was either the world champion at that point or about to challenge for, or somebody got hurt. He stepped up, whatever. That was accidental. They didn't really mean to do it. He just ended up there and they didn't keep him doing it. And he was the best in a fucking whole show.
Well,
all right.
Well, Jim, that Hook Chris Jericho segment, no fault of Hook's,
no,
was atrocious. Just a box of shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's too much for most people. Most people don't want a box of shit. They want a box of awesome. And we can tell them exactly where they can get that from. Our good friends at Bespoke Post and the Box of Awesome.
Because, boy, I'll tell you what, they don't deal with boxes of anything other than awesomeness over at boxofawesome.com and at Bespoke Post. And let me entertain you. Let me be your friend. Let me show you. Listen, can you hear that?
What are you doing?
The weight of this. This is my latest Box of Awesome. The Swivel. It is a desk organizer / storage compartment / whatever. It's a decorator type of item. It's a you know, you got all the small things on your desk, Brian. You got paper clips, you got rubber bands, you got little
Lego.
You got Legos,
baseball cards, whatever that action figure arms and legs.
This isn't a goddamn coffin here. We keep the body parts out of it, but the smaller items on your desk. Well, this is called the Swivel, and it is the Revolve tray from Mordico, along with the Tigerwood rollerball pin, also from Mordico. Mordico being one of the fine small businesses that the folks at Box of Awesome work with.
Did you say Tiger Woods?
No, Tigerwood rollerball pin. You see, here's what's going to see the pin.
I thought it was a golf thing. You said Tiger Woods.
No, the pin.
The golf pin.
Oh, would you let me tell you about the pin? The pin, I'm taking the top off of it right now. And, it unscrews. I see what's happening here. No, the pin.
The pin is 1, 2, 3. That's the pin.
The pin, the writing pin that you have in your hand and you write with. The handle is wood. It's wood grain. So it matches, and the top is I believe this is a gold or a brushed copper. It has a very antique look, so it goes along. I'm going to put this on the desk in my antique room. Because it's a beautiful pen that you can jot things down with.
I thought you were saying pin. I didn't realize you were saying pen. But so Tiger Wood is a type of wood?
I said pin.
Now I realize it. I didn't realize it before.
A Tigerwood rollerball pin, because there is not rollerball Rocco. There's a rollerball and it writes beautifully. I'm making a note now to tell you later on to go fuck yourself.
Hey, that's not very nice. But my point was...
What was your point?
I had it there a second ago, and then you had to tell me to go fuck myself. No, my point was that...
Tigerwood...
Is Tigerwood a type of wood, and I'm just not aware of it? Do you know anything about Tigerwood?
Tigerwood, it's a grain is what it is. And it's tiger striped here. I'm looking at it. Can't you see it? I'm holding it up to the microphone. But it's a beautiful pen. It would belong on any executive's desk. And it comes in a little sheath. And it comes in, now there's a box to the swivel, hence the box. And then you can put all your things in that. Let's say you got jewelry, you got a watch, you got keys, you got whatever. And then there's a tray, a wood grain, beautifully accented tray that sits on it, courtesy of a little magnet fucking little device in there, a little spindle, it's not a screw, it's long, and it sticks right in there. And the swivel, hence the name swivel, with one finger, you can just turn the tray on top around to the other side and you can get into your box, and then you can flip the tray with one finger back around and it becomes the lid of the box so you can't see inside the box. But there's stuff in the tray on top for you to be able to put in there.
It's the worst description I've ever heard of anything.
I have told you exactly what this thing looks like.
This man learned from Bill Watts, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to him try to describe this.
And it has weight to it because it's made from the finest materials, and you can tidy up. Effortless organization at its finest is what it's talking about. A practical, stylish place for your essentials to live. It's the Revolve swivel thing here. But that's just one of the many items they have at boxofawesome.com. And 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand, a mom-and-pop store that they're bringing to light. They're giving attention to these fine products from all across the highways and byways of small-town America. And we've got to support mom and pop because they're the backbone of all of us. Because if it wasn't for mom and pop boning, none of us would be here. We've got a debt of gratitude that we need to pay the mothers and the fathers out there by supporting them in their twilight years and buying all of these products, because Box of Awesome is doing a service for these people that are, who knows how close they are to crossing the river Styx. And one more time before that eternal flame goes out, they'd like to have some recognition. That's what Box of Awesome is doing for mom and pop, and we should too. Brian, what did you get in your box this week?
Again, you do want to support the mom and pop stores, of course, and that's one great way to do it is by getting Box of Awesome.
And even if pop has left mom, support mom. And by the same token, if mom turned out to be a floozy and left pop, still be in pop's corner.
Well, Jim, to give the listener, let's not go down that road. I don't know what's wrong with you. Let's give the listeners a little bit of an idea of some of the other things you can get in a Box of Awesome. I have the last 2 boxes of Awesome cards here, so it has the list of, not ingredients, but occupants in the box.
Occupants? How many people did they send you this month?
I received last month, or I believe it was last month, After Midnight Candle. I received a Bow Hill Blueberry Scrub Daily Moisturizing Lotion, the Rising Moon and Rising Sun Bath Soaks, and the Tranquility Aromatherapy Oil. This month I received...
Ooh, well, now, wait a minute. Now, that sounds like that'll put you in a nice, tranquil state. It'll ease your worried mind.
Certainly.
It'll remove the stress from your body and your aura and your chakra and your Deepra and your Deepak Chopra.
This is the Soothe package, for the record.
Well, there you go. And now, what did they follow that up with now that you're nice and soothed and relaxed and calm and zen-like?
I've received now the Trail package, including the Gut Hook Knife, the Field Box, Surviving the Great Outdoors by Brandon Leonard, a pocket saw with nylon straps, and a paracord bracelet, so I could paracord whatever the hell that means.
But I was about to say, are you a paratrooper? Are you parasailing? What is paracording?
What, before I look it up, what could it mean? Let's try to figure it out.
Could it mean that you hang from a bracelet on a cord high above a fucking chasm or other deep crevice? But are they expecting you to be turned not only out of your home, but out into the wilderness where you're going to have to live off the fat of the land?
A paracord is short for parachute cord.
Oh, good Lord.
It is a lightweight nylon kernmantle rope originally used in the suspension lines of parachutes. So yeah, this could hold you up, ladies and gentlemen. You could climb the tree and not worry about, I don't know how it works, but...
But I was about to say, what are you going to be hanging off of while you're wearing that? Is that batteries not included?
Again, a lot of people out there are adventurers. Again, we're talking America. We're talking driving in America with eagles and American flags and beer. Cold, hard American beer.
Cold, hard American beer. What?
So you never know when you need a parachute cord. I mean,
What? Whose guts are you going to hook with that gut hook knife out there, Rambo?
hold on, let me open this.
When you're,
I got the kit here. Let me open this and see this knife.
I like my box of awesome better than yours because I get to organize things on my desk instead of contribute to the fucking downfall of society by being some type of mountain dweller that fucking preys upon society.
Ooh, this is a nice knife. Hold on. Ooh, this is really nice. Let me rip open the styrofoam. Oh, it's very sharp too.
What?
Gotta be careful here. We gotta be careful.
It's just a flesh wound. Does you have a Band-Aid?
Oh,
it seems to be bleeding worse now.
You never think, how do you package a knife when you're gonna mail it to someone? Because usually you don't mail knives. This thing is wrapped in all. Well, here's a nice leather case for this nice gut hook knife. Oh man, this thing could really fuck something up. Wow, this is nice. This is nice.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what, at Box of Awesome, that's how we like to do it. We like to send you nice things, even if you should be passing a background check to receive them. But once again, folks, some of these things and many more can be yours, whether you want to drink and eat more awesome or dress and travel more fancily or explore more awesomeness of everything. The Box of Awesome folks have you covered this spring. You go to boxofawesome.com. You're sharpening that knife, aren't you?
I am. I got a sharpener here. Yeah, this thing's nice.
Yeah. Sharper than a serpent's tooth. And you take the quiz that will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you that arrives at your location every month. New items across a ton of different categories every month. And when you become a member, you're going to have access to stellar discounts across the plethora of products. Maybe even as much as 30% off or more. And as we said, you're supporting dear old mom and hardworking old pop out there in the hinterlands, out there in Lawrence, Kansas, or La Jolla, California, making these handmade items and these small town products that are then taken by the Box of Awesome people and spread around the world to the benefit of these small businesses who might never otherwise have a good shake in life. And I think we've got to celebrate that by buying all these things immediately.
That's right, especially right now between Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah, because then after that, it's going to be another 11 months before Mom's Day comes around, and unless you've got, is there a step-parents' day? Stepfather, stepmother? What about a cousin's day?
There's no cousin's day.
Well, it just depends on the state you're living in. But nevertheless, folks, you also get a free mystery gift with your first monthly shipment when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code JCE at checkout. That's the only way you're going to get the free mystery gift is if you enter the code JCE. If you don't want to enter the code, you ain't going to get the mystery gift. And this is not some Black Scorpion bullshit. This is a good surprise that's going to come in your box.
Yo, this wire saw is awesome. You could totally take someone out with this.
I was about to say, are you planning on dismembering a human skeleton or other type of biological structure there with the bone saw that you got?
Not that you know of. This is great. What a wonderful Box of Awesome. Support them today. They are awesome, and so are you. What's that promo code, Jim?
Boxofawesome.com, promo code JCE for a mystery gift. And bless you, Mom, and bless you, Pop.